Hello traders, welcome to this video on the euro dollar and pound dollar. My name is Chris Swarsik from Elite Currency, and as always we start with the euro dollar. Alright, so we expected a wave C to the downside, and that did take place, although I thought price would go a little bit further than 119.50 because I think now that the wave C is completed and that we're looking at a strong push up in a form of ABC, I suspect. So I think that the euro dollar at this moment is bullish. I think that the bearish ABC has been completed and is finished, and I think that we're going to look at a bullish ABC pattern. Why? Well, I think there are a couple of reasons. First of all, we got the 23.6 fib here. Let's take a look at that fib on higher time frame. So that's basically the fib. If you put it from a 1, 2, 3, wave 4 perspective like this, that's that 23.6 fib. Let's go back to the 4-hour chart. Then we got the minus 272 target as well. But not only that, it's also the reaction itself, right? 3 bullish candles in a row. And not only that, but the last candle is not the smallest. In fact, it's the largest. And the last 2 candles here, basically the close is very close to the high. So the bulls are in control from a price action point of view, and it's really a V-valley reversal. So all of these things combined, I think, indicate that the bearish ABC is completed a little bit earlier than I expected, but generally that's what we expected, was an ABC pattern to the downside. And I think that we had 5 waves here for wave A, we had an ABC up for wave B, like that, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete C. That's what I'm thinking at this moment. So from a trading perspective for the upcoming days, I think that looking for a pullback and continuation makes a lot of sense in my 2 cents, in my view. I think there's a lot of space towards the main targets here. I think there's going to be a couple of waves. The main target, I think, is 122, but it could go further. It could go even to the 78. All of these fibs are potential targets: 122, 122.36, 122.85. Let me show you on the 1-hour chart what I suspect. So I think this is going to be a wave 1, 2, 3. Eventually, we're going to have a wave 4, like a bull flag, back to the 28. I suspect a bounce. That could take price up to 121, and the long-term moving average was 4 and a minus 61.8 target. That's maybe where I suspect that a ABC to the downside could take place. So basically, wave 4, 5, ABC down. Don't know how deep that will go, but it could go, for instance, to the 38, 50, 61.8 fib zones. Let's do that like this. So price could fall down to the 23.6 fib, bounce, then go to the 38 or 50 or 61, any of these 3 really, 120.40, 120.25, 120.08. Any of these bouncy spots could start a rally, could be used as a bounce and support for another 5 waves up. And yeah, how far those 5 waves go up, I mean, that's difficult to say, but I think 122 is the minimum target at this moment. And so something like this. And then I suspect, wait, hang on, flag, up, ABC down, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that, towards a move up. Now, towards the a move up towards the fibs and retracements and fib targets. Now, it could go, as I said, it could go all the way up to here. If it does, it is starting to more look like an ABC flat with ABC in A, bullish ABC in B, and then there could be 5 waves down for a bigger wave C, for instance, right? That's very possible. So it could go as deep as these levels, like 122.85, 123, for instance. But a cautious, conservative target is 122 because that's kind of the next fib in line. Or although we could let's put the fib from the entire top to the bottom. Sorry, my chart is not cooperating today. There we go. And let's take this. You can see why 121 is an important level as well. It's the 38.2 fib. And 122 is important as well because of the 61.8 fib. So that's certainly a level to reckon with. That's a conservative target. There could be a bounce at 121.52, but I don't expect that much resistance there yet. 122.50, of course, as well, could be a serious level on 123. So let's see how far this pushes up, but I'm certainly bullish, and I'm looking for dips for move upside. Now, what if scenarios? What if I'm wrong? Well, I would only consider myself really inaccurate here if it breaks through the bottom. Then I would have to reanalyze it, go back to the drawing board, and in that case, my long setups have failed. And that is part of trading, of course, obviously. So if that happens, then yeah, that's just part of trading, and those would be losses if for those long setups. If price really starts to fall a lot and then a bounce, I'm not that worried because of the ABC pattern. So I mean, I'm not really worried about that particular scenario. Only if it breaks this bottom. Other shorting ideas could be at the targets like 122 and 122.50, 123. 4 bounces to the downside. If price gets that far, of course, that could be, in my view, something to consider. All right, pound USD, 1 hour chart, or let me just also, we didn't look at higher time frames, so let me do that on the euro dollar quickly there, not to forget anything. There we go. So yes, weekly chart, wick last week, although it was bearish, but daily chart is showing bearish engulfing twins. So I suspect that price is going to break above the 20 MA to retest the top, but not break it because of the bigger kind of correction that we're expecting in the wave 4, right? With wave 3 potentially completed here, that wave 4 could be lengthy and choppy. So I do expect it to move up, but not that much as part of this wave 4 process. Okay. Otherwise, let's move on to pound USD. Let's start there on the weekly chart. I think this is also looking bullish now. I was bearish because of the rising wedges that take place, but the rising wedge has broken and it didn't go anywhere that deep. It did move a little bit, as I suspected, to 135, but that's it. And I think now price is more in a sideways zone. And I think we're still extending the uptrend like this 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're still in a wave 5 of 5. And with last week's bullish candle and wick at the bottom, I think the bulls are back in control. And the monthly chart, bulls were still in control. And on the daily chart, bulls are still in control. This has not broken below the 20 EMA low for months, 4 months, if not more. Almost, 4.5 months, I think. So the 20 EMA zone, very strong, acting as support here. And price still hasn't broken this. So I think that the rising wedge that certainly was, available and visible here did break, but it just made a lower low, bounced at the long-term moving average like it did here too, 233 EMA, and now price is back above it. So you might be saying, hey, how about a head and shoulders pattern? And certainly those are always possible, but I just don't think that this is the environment where it will happen. Personally, I think that the rising wedge should have broken with more strength in the flag and continuation. It didn't. There was a closing reverse with bullish price action. So I think that this is just consolidation for wave 4, and I am expecting more upside with considering this bullish price action. So here too, any dips I think we'll probably see a support and rally to the upside, with main targets basically at WIZ 7. Now there could be, of course, a serious resistance at WIZ 6, which is the top of that old rising wedge, and there could be a bounce there. But I suspect the price will bounce and break through it and head towards WIZ 7 at 138.60. So let's go to the 1 hour chart. All right, I think that price might make a little bit upside at the beginning as the market opens. This is Sunday evening my time zone. Market hasn't opened yet, as you can see. I suspect that it will push a little bit up, 137.50, hit the double top there, or hit the previous resistance, make a retracement back to the 21 EMA-ish zone, bounce there for upside, and make it up to maybe 138, then make another bull flag, and then move up to WIZ 7 at 139, 138, 60-ish. Okay, so I'm bullish personally, expecting the 20 EMA zone to hold, or the 144 EMA, and looking for flags and continuation breakouts to the upside. This remains really valid from my perspective, as long as price is staying above that 144 EMA, even the 610 EMA because of the head and shoulders pattern here. So even if it does something like that, that could still be a bouncing spot there. So pretty much, I'm bullish, except what would be the what if scenario? Some bearish candle, really. A daily candle breaking through the 21 EMA low. That would change perspectives for me on the pound dollar, and I would become bearish. Of course, there could be some bounces at the WIZ levels, like 138.60 and what is it, 137.50, 137.75, I think. Sorry, the charts are not working with me here. Yeah, 137.72. But I think that specifically this target will not create that much of a bounce. Maybe 138.60, but 140 is above it as well. So those are only like small little bounce trades for a few pips, but otherwise the trend is up in my view, looking for dips for a rally up, looking for breakouts, and even with 7, even price could even break above with 7 and go to with 8 if the trend is really strong. So yeah, I'm leaning towards upside, as you can see. I think that certainly was bearish before, but not at the moment. That's my 2 cents at this point, unless we get a really strong daily candle. All right. If you're interested in trading ideas from Nenad Kirkas, take a look at ECS Live 6 months. It's for free if you join through Munfex Broker. It's a sponsorship for free of charge from them. Or if you want one of our EAs, it's also discounted through Munfex. But it is limited. That offer is limited to these countries, as far as I understood. So check that out. Yeah, I hope that this video helped you with your analysis. Keep in mind that in some cases, I'm just sharing my view. There was some comment below one of the past videos that said that didn't think that I committed to a certain direction enough, but that's just my way of analysis, right? I personally, I'm not pretending to know or to be able to to predict how price will move. I think no one can. So I always discuss scenarios. I do indicate which scenario I think is more likely, like I do today. If I feel that this is really a decent probability, and if I think that it's less likely, then I will indicate that. At some moments, some things are more sure than others, and I indicate that, and I explain why I think I'm confident about something or why I'm not confident about something, and then I discuss various scenarios. I discuss also key support and decision zones, so that when price gets somewhere, why is it important? How do I analyze it if it does that or this? So I think that context is important, and being overconfident about certain scenarios all the time, right? I think, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's just not my style, right? So I'm just giving you my how I see price, how I expect the path of resistance to be, but I also attach probabilities, what are key decision zones, to explain how I view the charts in a realistic way, not over boosting or over kind of confident about something that I'm not. Now, some traders might think, when hear that and think this is not decisive enough, but really no one knows what the market will do, and I'm always open to new information as the market develops, as new candles arrive, because that's going to provide new insights, and I want to use that. And I think if a trader is too much stuck on one particular view, then you might get a bias, right? So that's my 2 cents. If you want to know more about my trading methods, check out SWAT course. It's about moving averages, fibs, fractals, patterns, waves, and you can join for free through one of our sponsored brokers or sign up as a member. And if you like these videos in general, of course, feel free to leave your feedback on Trustpilot or ForexP Summary. We'll certainly appreciate that. All right, thank you so much, and see you soon. Cheers, bye-bye.